This thought came to my mind. It didn't really seem like it was my own thought even, but it was such a peaceful thought. It really put me at peace. It was just this thought of, maybe I should join seminary. I was so comfortable with that sense of peace, that year ago of maybe I should join seminary, and just having such a sense of peace with that. My name is Brady Hendrickson. I am from Rame, North Dakota, and I am a parishioner at St. Mel's Parish. I was born in Hettinger, North Dakota, and I lived in Scranton, North Dakota for the first 4 years of my life. My dad was a school teacher, and my mom was a nurse at the clinic there. My two older siblings had started school in Scranton, and I guess my little sister came later. So when I was 4 years old, me and my family moved to our family ranch in south of Rame, North Dakota. My grandpa was ready for some help, so he asked my dad to help to come to the ranch and start helping out. So since I was 4, I've grown up on that ranch, and I love the ranch life. I started school in Rame. I started in kindergarten. Just for the record, Rame has under 200 people in it as for a population. And my class, in kindergarten, there was 2 kids. It was Brady and Braden. It was immediate best friends, right? We're best friends. That wasn't until 4th grade. After 4th grade, he moved to Oregon, and so that was a really weird time in my life. Anyway, so the Rame school goes from kindergarten to 6th grade, and so then after 6th grade, I went to Bowman high school for high school, and the public school is just a really interesting place to be, and trying to be a faithful Catholic. My family, growing up was my biggest supporter in the faith. From my immediate family all the way to my extended family, I have 40 first cousins, and so many second cousins, and just aunts and uncles and great aunts and uncles, just so much family, and they're all so supportive of my faith. When I'd go to church, to mass on Sundays in Rame, I would have so much family around me. I mean, it's a small parish, but over half of the parish I was related to. So just that family aspect of my faith is just a really important part of growing up with my faith. But in school, it's just a hard place to be in a public school, and trying to live out a faith, to try to live out my Catholic faith is just difficult. I mean, I went to mass every Sunday. We had CYO youth group every Wednesday. I search retreats in Medora. But all of these things, it was just kind of that time where you'd really kind of grow in your faith for that hour at youth group, or that weekend at the search retreats. But then you'd come back, and you'd come back to the same school, and I'd come back to the same school, and it'd just be difficult to bring all of that back and live out my faith at school. But although it was difficult, I grew a lot in my faith. My older siblings definitely helped with that. They led me to search retreats and to different Steubenville retreats. And I think those Steubenville retreats were the first place that I really started considering the call to the priesthood. I was at a Steubenville retreat, and there was a call for any young man that was open to the open to the priesthood to come down in the front, and they set up and then have a prayer. And I just thought about it, and I really wanted at that when they asked, I just really wanted to be open to that, and that's where I was first open to the priesthood. After high school, I graduated high school in 2022, and and just loving my faith, and having grown in my faith and with my family and with all of these different experiences at these great places, I wanted to give back some of what I had received in my faith. God had given me so much, and I just wanted to return the favor. So I did. I applied and accepted, and I did a year of net ministries, and that year on net was just a really formative year. So there was 5 weeks of training just to start it off, and those 5 weeks just taught me so much about my faith, and just helped me grow deeper in my faith. Also, just being from a public school, those didn't have any of that Catholic school formation where you know a lot about the different things, just a lot about the faith. I didn't know a lot about the faith. I loved God, and I knew some things about my faith from CYO, but those 5 weeks really helped me grow in that knowledge, and then that just helped me grow that much deeper and on a personal level with in my relationship with Jesus Christ. That year of net was just a really formative year. I had learned a lot about brotherhood. I learned a lot about ministry and doing work in evangelization, and helping people grow closer to their faith, and then all the time growing closer in my faith. I learned that no matter how much you give to God, He's going to give that much more back. And I mean, that's not that that's why you do it, but that's not why I do it, but growing in my, but on that year of net, I was able to give so much of what I had received back to God, but then He gave it back just tenfold. And I just learned that God is just never outdone in generosity, and is always gives back. I mean, gives so much more than I could ever give. And then after my year of net, I came home for the summer, and having grown so much and changed as a person and grown as a person and learned so much about myself and about my faith, coming back home to the ranch, and it was a kind of a little bit of a shock, because everything was just the same. Everything was the same. Like I had changed, but my home hadn't changed, and my family hadn't changed that much. My siblings had grown up, and some, and there's obviously those little changes, but it just was really surprising how little had changed in my year of growth, and but during that summer, I helped out with a Duke and Altum retreat. We called it. It was at our parish. So I was helping out my parish priest with this retreat, and we had mass every day that week, and it had been a long time since I'd been to mass every day for a week. I had on net, but then just that coming back to that in that summer, that after the so much at coming back to the sameness, I was able to grow, able to go back to mass for a week. And after that, that Sunday, I remember sitting in the pews at mass, and it was during the homily, and I was just sitting there, and this thought came to my mind. It didn't really seem like it was my own thought even, but it was like such a peaceful thought. Just really put me at peace. It was just this thought of, maybe I should join seminary. So at first I thought it would just go away, right? I just, every boy is supposed to think that, and everybody's supposed to have that thought, but I thought, oh, it'll just go away, right? So, but then after, a week went by, and then 2 weeks went by, and I just couldn't get that, couldn't forget that feeling of peace and that thought of maybe I should join seminary. So I went and talked to my parish priest at home. So I sat down with Father Ben and just talked to him about it. He had, in that course of that conversation, he had told me that it was too late in that year to apply to seminary, that to start applying or to start the application process. It was pretty late in the summer, and so I was, yeah. But he recommended that I try going to college, because seminary is college. So just to see what I thought about the college life, and just to get that experience. So he recommended, that I go to college, and so I decided to go to the University of Mary. So I had actually applied there already, so I was accepted, and just ended up, and so I just enrolled, and I went to the University of Mary. I went for mechanical engineering. Just growing up on the farm, I loved that. I loved working with my hands. I loved building things. I loved making things. So I went to school for mechanical engineering, and I loved it. University of Mary was a great environment. I was able to step back into that. Those good Catholic relationships like I had on net. Was able to find a great group of friends, and I enjoyed my classes. I enjoyed my just the closeness to the faith there. They have mass there every day, and I'd go to mass a lot, and it was great because you could just roll out of your bed, and just walk across campus and go to mass, and that was just a great thing for my faith, and it really helped me to grow and even that much deeper in my faith. And it was about December, I think. I checked I got a text from Father Dosh, the vocations director here in because I having talked to my parish priest at home, Father Ben, he'd given me my number, or given my number to Father Dosh, and so Father Dosh texted me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to meet up sometime?" And so we went and just had a good conversation about my thoughts about joining seminary, and we met up a couple times over the course of the year, and there was I think it was our third time meeting up. He gave me the application for the Diocese of Bismarck, to be a Diocese of Bismarck Seminarian. That was a terrifying moment. I had grown to love college so much that I wasn't sure if that's the route that I wanted to take. That I wasn't sure if seminary was the route that I wanted to take anymore, right? Even though that's why I was at college in the first place. was because I had that conversation with Father Ben about seminary. But it was a really tough. It was still a really tough decision to make to fill out that application, and it was just a difficult thing. Yeah, just a difficult thing to get into my mind of to make that decision to fill out to get that application filled out. So that was somewhere probably in like April, and but through, then finals came up, and I got busy, and I started kind of filling it out, but finals came around, and then that, it really kind of dropped off, filling out that application, and then summer came, and then I went home, and then I was helping out on the ranch, and I got really busy, and it was trying to get through my mind that I really want to really decide that I really wanted to go to seminary, because I just wasn't sure, and it was just a difficult decision to make. It's just a big decision to make, especially being at home on the ranch. That was helping out, haying and working cows and work on equipment, and just all of those things that I love to do, and doing those things, made it difficult to fill out that application, knowing that I'd have to be saying goodbye to that. But then I had a conversation with Father Ben again. I was so comfortable with that, and had that sense of peace, that year ago of maybe I should join seminary, and just having such a sense of peace with that. And now I was just in this state of not knowing again, right? And that made my prayer life difficult. That made and stepping away from the University of Mary and going home again, and daily mass wasn't as available, and just all of these things that made that discernment process that much more difficult. But Father Ben really put my mind at ease when he just said that told me to not make a decision in desolation where you've already made a decision in consolation, meaning that in knowing at being at peace at when I was in consolation, and really being really really deep and invested in time of really flourishing in my faith, and having that peace there, to not let go, and he told me to not let go of that peace, and to hang on to that peace, and to move forward into my application process. So I did, and I'm so excited for where this will take me, and really looking forward to, really excited, but yet terrified to go to seminary this next year. So I'm headed to Washington, D.C. to the John Paul II seminary, and I'm really excited to go.